Arizona News Radio. Phoenix police involved in another chase of an armed carjacking suspect and an officer-involved shooting.
During the time of that collision, that one of our special assignments officer fired several shots at this man who remained in the car, still armed with this rifle.
An SUV slammed into a zebra. That was part of the Ostrich Festival that was being set up in Chandler.
The owners were out there on scene, only speculating that they must have gotten a phone call from our agency, but that's speculation only. But they were on scene.
Maricopa County Attorney Bill Montgomery says he's got a lot of work to do about serial killer and former Phoenix police officer Cleophas Cooksey, who's charged with at least 8 murders.
The timeline for reviewing whether or not to file a notice of intent to seek the death penalty is going to be based in part on whether or not there's additional information that could be provided and what a likely time frame for that might be.
George Tanner, Arizona News.
It's time for your 1100 KFNX traffic report, brought to you by Bay Alarm. Taking a look out to Phoenix, we have an accident at the I-10 west of 16th Street, as well as Missouri Ave east of 7th Street. And in Scottsdale, be on the lookout for a collision at Scottsdale Road south of Mayo Boulevard. With Bay Alarm, you're protected 24/7 by the local security experts. Go to bayalarm.com to schedule your free security review today. Bay Alarm, what have you got to lose?
From the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center, as we head into the evening under cloudy skies, our low tonight 57. Partly sunny Thursday, high near 83. Thursday night mostly cloudy, low 57. And Friday partly sunny with a high near 82. I'm Scott Allen Fortney from the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center.
Currently in downtown Phoenix, it's 78 degrees.
Next news in 30 minutes or when it breaks. Here on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, what are you doing up here on the roof?
I want to tell the world I just met the woman of my dreams. What about you?
I want to tell the world that Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
They saved me $782.
Oh, you go first then. $782 really puts finding love into perspective.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Reminiscing with Amazon Music.
Remember Coach's halftime speech back in junior high?
That song he played probably won us the game.
What was it again?
Alexa, play the song that goes, burning with determination.
Rediscover the songs that defined a moment in time. Amazon Music, the simplest way to listen to the music you love. New customers start your 30-day free trial at AmazonMusic.com. Renews automatically, cancel anytime.
Live from the Midtown studios of KFNX, it's time for the Wellness Roundtable Radio Show, sponsored by Atrix.com. Now, here's your hosts, Dr. Spear and Dr. White.
Hello, welcome to the Wellness Roundtable Radio Show. I want to say hi to everybody on Facebook Live. And my co-host Scott Weiss is in New York. How you doing today?
I'm doing okay here, Dave. It's the weather we always talk about every week, and it's the weather again here. Crazy.
Yeah, I heard you were getting hit with a pretty severe nor'easter today.
Yeah, I keep on hearing these new terms in science called thunder snow and bombogenesis. I mean, I'll tell you, within the last year, I've heard a lot of new things about weather.
You could become a meteorologist.
It sounds like it, right?
So I wanted to bring up in our current event segment just something fairly quickly. I was looking through some kind of new fitness information and what's out there. And what's so interesting, do you remember when we had Amy Kraft on the show and we talked about, kind of just smile, it's uplifting, obviously, and it's good for wellness and health. And you had mentioned use a lot more muscle, right?
Yeah, of course I remember that. Yeah.
So there's research out there that shows that a 15-minute stand-up comedy routine can burn between 10 and 40 calories if you're just laughing.
I'm not surprised, because, laughing really, it's a lot of stomach work. People say their abs get sore from laughing too hard.
Right.
So I could see that.
But I think you have to be a really good comedian to hurt somebody's abs. You got to be laughing, incessantly in order to feel your abs hurt. But I thought that was kind of funny. So today what we're going to talk about is skin health, and we're going to speak with an esthetician who is out here in Scottsdale. Her name is Lauren Miller. And I'm going to introduce her now, and she's going to be able to answer some really interesting questions I think that all of us have about our skin health. In terms of routine, in terms of whether or not to wear sunscreen, what's the deal with Botox, and what is this cool sculpting that we hear about all the time? I'm really interested to hear, what she has to say. So, yeah. Lauren Miller is an accomplished medical esthetician with over 8 years of experience with lasers and cosmetic dermatology treatments. She graduated from the Pure Aesthetics School in Tucson, Arizona, and continued her education at the NCI Laser School in Scottsdale, Arizona. She has used her knowledge and expertise to assist patients with anti-aging, acne, hyperpigmentation, skin resurfacing, and wrinkle reduction. For the past 3 years, she's worked with Cool Sculpting to help patients achieve their goals with body contouring. Welcome to the show, Lauren.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Lauren.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm a lot warmer than you are.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Sounds like back east.
Yeah. I don't like to tell Scott what the weather is out here because it makes him feel bad every week.
I know.
So we just try to leave it at that. So interesting, as far as this, the occupation of an esthetician, and I've heard of it before, but I don't really know what an esthetician does on a daily basis. And I was wondering if you could let our listeners in on that.
Absolutely. So working in aesthetics or being an esthetician, just like what we're talking about today, my goal really is all over skin health. Whether we're treating for acne, pigmentation, doing anti-aging treatments, correcting, even scar correction. So, it's a great career because you really kind of sky's the limit. This is such a fast-growing business. It's always kind of ever-changing. So I know you mentioned a few things that we'll talk about, but between face wash to cool sculpting, it really is a pretty broad spectrum of skin health and body wellness.
I have a quick question because I do see a lot of people doing cool sculpt. I have a couple of offices in Manhattan, and I'll tell you, doctors that were originally in sports medicine are now getting cool sculpting and kind of changing their practice to more of this. What is really going on with that? Why are more people just jumping aboard the boat with getting involved with all this?
So, cool sculpting really is an amazing, amazing service. It truly does give phenomenal results.
Yeah.
Very similar, actually, to what liposuction can give. And, I do it on people all the time. I've had it done multiple times myself. There really is no downtime whatsoever. You're a little bit tender to the touch, but pretty much the amount of tenderness that you would have if you did a big ab workout. So, I've cool sculpted myself and seen 4 patients after that day. So,
but
it
insurance
really
doesn't cover this. This is people have to pay out of pocket for this, right? They don't go through the...
Yes, it is a cosmetic procedure.
I see.
So, Lauren, what's the science behind cool sculpting? How does it actually work? What does it entail?
Sure. So, depending on the area that we're treating, we refer to them as cycles. They're kind of like the size of a large man's hand. So if you're doing a stomach, per se, you would do multiple cycles on the stomach. There's a vacuum-like device associated with the equipment, so it sucks your pinchy subcutaneous fat into a cooling chamber.
Okay.
The cooling panels or the cooling chamber, it changes temperature throughout the 35-minute cycle. And what it's doing is it's freezing your pinchable fat cells, forcing those cells into a state called apoptosis. Our bodies recognize frozen fat cells as waste, and we eliminate them out by using the restroom and sweating. So it's actually a permanent fat cell reduction.
Dave, I'm thinking physiology like you,
right.
And maybe I'm thinking old school where it's like, hey, the fat cells in your body are your fat cells, and they grow and shrink, But to get rid of them, wow, that's amazing. Are you kidding me? I almost want to do it now.
And you're kind of reprogramming cell death in a way. I mean, that's right? That's what apoptosis is. So you're basically destroying the cells, and then they just get eliminated. That's
correct. And,
so interesting.
That's right. Like you were saying, we really have the same amount of fat cells pretty much our whole lives. It's just, we determine how much we fill them.
Yep.
Or deplete them.
Right. For sure.
So it is a permanent elimination. About 22 to 24% of the fat cells are eliminated for one treatment.
Okay.
Typically, we do. It is best for best results. You want to treat the same area for sure twice.
Okay.
So you're closer to that 50%. It does take up to 12 weeks to eliminate it, but the nice thing about that is it gives the skin plenty of time to retract nicely.
Right.
So, the results really are beautiful, and again, it really works.
Is
very cool.
Yeah. Is there a period of time that you sort of have to? Do you have to go back for treatments, or it's just permanent? After 2 treatments, it's
Well, we like to do 2. You really see. The nice results there. No, it is permanent. Now, people ask me all the time, well, what if I gain weight?
Right.
10, 15 pounds, you are always going to have a smaller, let's say you treated your, inner thighs.
Right.
Those will always be smaller. If you were to gain a significant amount of weight, those other fat cells that are still in there can grow a little larger.
Yeah.
But, it really does have an extremely long-lasting visual effect.
That's really amazing. So that's so interesting. Now I know what it is. I can't wait to get to Botox. This is great. And I want to talk in the next segment about skincare routine, because I don't know about you, Scott, but I have no skincare routine. As brushing my teeth, for some people, they have an entire skincare routine. I don't really have one, so I probably need some advice along those lines. But we're going to take a break. We're going to go to commercial in just a moment. And just think about this. If you're listening in, you want to call in and join us. We're at 602-277-5369 or 1-866-536-1100. And we're speaking with Lauren Miller, who is a medical esthetician. We're talking about skin health. And we're going to be talking about skincare routines and using sunscreen and Botox when we come back. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be right back.
Suffer from foot pain? Let Atrex help alleviate some of that pain with a pair of Atrex orthotics. Millions of pairs have been sold to those in need of fast relief from foot pain. Atrex offers a wide selection of orthotics designed for each arch type and footwear style. Visit Atrex.com. That's AETREX.com and get your pair today. Again, that's AETREX.com.
Don't we all have questions about our health, fitness, or even injuries? Now there's a place to go, and it's online at wellnessroundtable.com. Wellnessroundtable.com is an online interactive video platform that allows the best experts in the world to share their knowledge with you. Through creating a roundtable or attending a lecture, you are bound to realize the value of having evidence-based information live and in the comfort of your own home. Check them out at wellnessroundtable.com and get some real answers. Use the promo code 1100 to get a 20% discount.
Veterans face treacherous situations filled with peril while serving our country. Many veterans come home physically injured, suffering with PTSD, have traumatic brain injuries or other ailments. For over 45 years, Help Heal Veterans has provided therapeutic art kits to these critically injured veterans at no charge to them. Help us heal vets. To volunteer or learn more, visit healvets.org. Help a veteran. Visit healvets.org.
We've been going strong since 1923, and this year, Coulter Cadillac is entering its 95th year as Arizona's oldest Cadillac dealer. Hi, I'm Paul Glanz, General Manager for Coulter Cadillac. What other dealer can claim almost 100 years of service? No one. Remember, it's what happens after the sale that keeps our customers coming back, and that's exceptional customer service. See our exciting lineup of 2018 Cadillacs at Coulter on Camelback and 12th Street or online at CoulterCadillacPhoenix.com.
Stand by for your daily act of civil disobedience. You're listening to Joe Walsh.
I was on MSNBC this morning, and I got into a little tussle with a liberal because I said, to me, Trump is like our first citizen president. The guy's a regular guy. He talks like Jimmy down the street.
This is the Joe Walsh Show.
Joe Walsh, nights at 7 p.m. Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Atrix is one of the fastest growing companies in the footwear industry and is widely recognized as a global leader in comfort and wellness footwear products. The Atrix mission is to create the healthiest shoe on the market today. With fashion, function, and quality at the forefront, Atrix designs and manufactures most types of footwear for both men and women. All styles are crafted with care to meet the highest standards in design, incorporate cutting-edge technologies, and offer unmatched customization and adjustability. To learn how Atrix can help you with your feet, go to AETREX.com. That's Atrix.com.
Welcome back to the Wellness Roundtable Radio Show. We're talking skin health with esthetician Lauren Miller. So, Lauren, we wanted to touch on a skincare routine. I hear about this all the time. I know that my wife has somewhat of a routine with various products. I've bought products in the past, but really don't have a routine. What would you recommend to listeners as far as kind of a basic skincare routine?
So that's a great question. And for both, skincare routines are extremely important for both men and women. And I know men have, a little bit of a harder time sometimes wrapping their head around that. But just to keep it really basic but very effective, the Clarisonic, which it is, it's a device that they sell pretty much anywhere these days, is a phenomenal way to wash your face. You put your cleanser on there. It's a timed wash, and it does a really nice job of exfoliating and helping with the circulation in the skin. A vitamin C or an antioxidant in the morning is going to protect your skin from all the free radicals that we experience throughout the day, smoke, smog, dust. And then you would use that in the morning. Most importantly is sunscreen.
Okay.
You're never too young or too old to wear daily sunscreen. And then using a retinol, which is going to speed up your skin cell turnover in the evening, really helps to keep us looking youthful and healthy.
Okay, so that's great. And Scott, do you have a routine?
It's funny you say that. What, just because I'm here in New York, I have a routine?
I'm just asking. Well, you're
It's funny you say. I do put different things on my body than I do on my face, and I guess Lauren, you would know, I get my Dermatologica on every once in a while. Okay. I have my microdermabrasion here and there and my facial, so I try to, at least go out of my way to take care of my face like I take care of everything else on your body.
So the question, you made an interesting point, Lauren, which is wear sunscreen all the time. So just to be kind of perfectly transparent with you, so I lived in New York for many, many years, and I would only use sunscreen when going to a beach or knowing that I'm going to be directly in the sun. I move out to Arizona, which obviously doesn't have the big buildings that New York has and has a lot more sun exposure, I would think. I hardly ever wear sunscreen. And I'm sure you're cringing when I say that, but the fact is it's just not part of my makeup. I would only use it going hiking or if I'm going to be directly in the sun, but otherwise I don't use it. So,
you know what's funny, Dave, is that you have to get it built into your moisturizer.
Okay. I don't use moisturizers, so that's a problem too. But go ahead, Lauren. So what would you say to me, somebody who's kind of come from a different geographical area and is not really used to using that? Is there a way to kind of initiate or kind of get me to sort of remember to use sunscreen? Any kind of tips?
Well, I tell people all the time, really quick I'll touch on, regardless really of where you live in the country, we're all exposed to the sun in one way or another. Obviously, being out here in Arizona, we're exposed to it almost all the time.
Right.
But, I tell people, hopefully you're brushing your teeth every morning.
Yeah, that I do. Yeah.
Put your sunscreen on the second you're finished brushing your teeth, and typically that'll help you, kind of remember. Or, leave it out on your counter.
Okay.
So you see it. Another really good thing, too, is, a lot of times we're busy in the morning and so forth, and we do a decent amount of driving out here as well. Keep a little tube in your car as well.
Okay.
That way, if you do forget running out of the house quickly, it is there for your access.
Got it. And so speaking of cars, Scott, and I've heard this before, I don't know if you've heard it, is that when you're driving, and we drive a lot out here, the windshield acts as sort of a reflective mechanism and can cause, I don't know if it intensifies the sun or I'm not sure, but I've heard that if you're in the car a lot, you really need to use sunscreen. Is that something you've heard in the past, Lauren?
Absolutely. There are different rays that come through the windshield or window itself. So you're not going to get that sunburned tan look that you would get outside, but it does a tremendous amount of damage to the inner layers of our skin. And, it's very common. People come in all the time. They are so concerned about these, random fast-growing brown spots. It's typically always on the left side of the face. I would say 95% of the time. It's their driving side.
I see.
Very common to have skin cancer, basal cells or squamous cells, even melanomas on the left side. And even don't forget, too, your hands. Those are really exposed in the car,
right.
Very close to the windows.
Right, especially on the steering wheel all the time. Yeah, for sure. Okay.
And then, of course, we have our ABCDEs of examining skin care and moles and things like that, Dave.
Right. You mean from a diagnostician's point of view?
Exactly.
Right. So,
right, and they have the ABCDs of melanoma. You should go to to get your checks from your dermatologist annually, because they do grow quickly. But sunscreen, hands down, is the cheapest, easiest, most effective way to prevent skin cancers and, the signs of anti-aging.
That's great. Okay. I'll start using it. That's an excellent endorsement for using, for using sunscreen. Scott, I believe we have an email question.
We do, Lauren. Here's Casey in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying, when do I go to an esthetician, a dermatologist, or a plastic surgeon? What's the difference?
Okay, good question. So dermatologists are going to be medical doctors. They are going to take care of, more, biopsying to see if you do have the skin cancers, if you have, rash or things along those lines. A plastic surgeon is, you're going to go to them. A lot of people actually consult with both plastic surgeons and estheticians. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for something not as invasive as going under the knife, then visiting an esthetician can be extremely successful. Between, lasering, and there are actually some, fairly aggressive procedures that we do as well. Now, if you're looking to, let's say,
so
a lot of jowling, that's going to be a surgeon.
Right. So it's a non-surgical option to do a lot of procedures, so to say, that, that you want to get done.
Correct.
I see.
Yeah, and I'd like to touch. Go ahead, Scott.
That's great. That's a great point. I'm sure Casey's listening, and she'll get that.
So, speaking of kind of cosmetic and sort of voluntary surgeries, and maybe this isn't really in the realm of surgery, but Botox. Botox it's been around quite a while, but it's really, really become very popular. I would say in the last 10 years. Is that right?
I would agree with that.
Okay, so tell me what's the appeal of Botox, and how long does it last, and what does that entail, similar to what we talked about when we discussed cool sculpting?
Sure. So Botox it's a neurotoxin. It's a protein.
Yep.
It is most commonly injected into the forehead, crow's feet, and sometimes around the mouth or in the jaw.
Okay.
But what it does is it temporarily causes miscommunication in between the brain and the muscle in which it was injected.
Okay.
So it is going to, we all have expression, naturally.
Right.
A lot of people hate, their crow's feet that they get, or those, we call them the 11s in the center of your eyebrow.
Yeah.
And there is nothing you can do. It's your natural expression.
Right.
You're not going to stop smiling or, looking confused or whatnot. So what the Botox does, it is basically treating from the inside out. It is going to not allow your muscle to make those constant constrictions, so your skin is constantly forming those lines.
Okay.
So it does take
it's a toxin, Dave. It's basically a toxin that relaxes
it tricks your nervous system. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
it relaxes
amazing.
your muscles naturally.
Right.
So it's actually a very common misconception that people always say, to me at least, well, I don't want to look, I don't want to look not natural,
right.
like all that Botox.
Right.
Botox does not make you look not natural.
So,
typically, you can't even, really, you're not going to really notice if someone's had it.
Got it.
It just, once those muscles are relaxed, you cannot constantly make those
right.
crunches, and it's all going to smooth out.
So that's what in our next segment, that's what I want to talk about, because, I also hear about filler, and you see people in magazines where their lips look like they got blown up like a balloon.
Right.
I'd like to talk about the distinction between that and Botox when we come back. So we're discussing skin health with esthetician Lauren Miller, and we'll be right back.
Fair and balanced. Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Arizona's only independent voice. Independent Talk 1100 KFNX.
It's bad and getting worse in the Northeast as the second major nor'easter in a week is pounding the region from New York to New England. Connecticut Governor Daniel Malloy is telling those without power to be patient.
Winds will be gusting up to 35 miles per hour inland and up to 50 miles per hour along the coast. I remind you that crews cannot get in bucket trucks to restore power anytime that the gusts are in the 30 to 35 range.
Some parts of the region could see nearly 2 feet of snow. A slight sigh of relief around North America toward the White House, from the White House, that Canada and Mexico might be exempt from new tariffs on imported steel and aluminum. Many in Congress have called on the president to take a surgical approach. Gun violence prevention orders, the centerpiece of a new bill introduced in the Senate, similar to restraining orders. They would empower judges to temporarily take guns away from people judged at risk. I'm Rich Johnson.
It's time for your 1100 KFNX traffic report, brought to you by Bay Alarm. Take a look out to Peoria. We have an accident at the Loop 101 northbound south of Bell Road. In Tempe, be on the lookout for a collision at the US 60 westbound east of Priest Drive. And we have an accident in Phoenix at Cactus Road at Cave Creek Road. With Bay Alarm, you're protected 24/7 by the local security experts. Go to bayalarm.com to schedule your free security review today. Bay Alarm, what have you got to lose?
From the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center, as we head into the evening under cloudy skies, our low tonight 57. Partly sunny Thursday, high near 83. Thursday night mostly cloudy, low 57. And Friday partly sunny with a high near 82. I'm Scott Allen Fortney from the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center.
Currently in downtown Phoenix, it's 78 degrees.
Next news in 30 minutes or when it breaks. Here on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Atrix is one of the fastest growing companies in the footwear industry and is widely recognized as a global leader in comfort and wellness footwear products. The Atrix mission is to create the healthiest shoe on the market today with fashion, function, and quality at the forefront. Atrix designs and manufactures most types of footwear for both men and women. All styles are crafted with care to meet the highest standards in design, incorporate cutting-edge technologies, and offer unmatched customization and adjustability. To learn how Atrix can help you with your feet, go to AETREX.com. That's Atrix.com.
The Del Walmsley Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
Why do I bother? Because what I want you to understand is you can do something about your situation, where you are, what you can do, how how you can isolate and insulate yourself from all of this political and financial garbage that goes on out there.
The Del Walmsley Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Everything you need to know about finance and real estate. For more information, mypassiveincomesystem.com. mypassiveincomesystem.com.
We are all aware the digital age has swiftly come upon us, and staying on top of our health has become more mainstream than ever before. But what if there was a way to combine the two? Finally, we can. WellnessRoundtable.com is an online video healthcare site that allows consumers the opportunity to speak to the health experts they want to and on their own time. Simply pick an expert, pick a time, and book the roundtable. It's as easy as that. Visit Wellness Roundtable at wellnessroundtable.com. Again, that's wellnessroundtable.com.
Don't sacrifice comfort for style, especially when it comes to your feet. Try on a pair of Atrex shoes today. Atrex shoes feature built-in orthotic support that can help with balance, alignment, and injury prevention. Plus, ultra-soft memory foam cushioning to keep you feeling great on your feet all day long. Visit Atrex.com, AETREX.com, and check out the selection of stylish boots, shoes, and sandals today.
Welcome back to the Wellness Roundtable Radio Show. We're talking skin health with esthetician Lauren Miller. So, Lauren, we were discussing Botox, and I've heard of filler, and like I said, you know, a lot of celebrities and other people that you may see on TV. It looks like their lips have been kind of blown up. You know, their face is really pulled very severely. So tell me, what's the difference between sort of filler and Botox, and how does someone end up in that situation?
Sure. So, like we were saying earlier, Botox is a neurotoxin. It really just looks like water. Filler is hyaluronic acid, which is a natural substance in our body, but it looks more of, it has like a gel texture.
Mm-hmm.
So filler you use to build mass if people want to enhance their lip size, enhance their cheek size, if they have really deep marionette or nasolabial folds, you know, to make that look nice and smooth. So you're adding mass to an area.
Okay. And but do people not sort of realize what they look like? What happens when someone kind of goes overboard, and is there any recourse from that?
So fillers, well, it's really not, like we were saying earlier, it's really not Botox that makes people look so fake. It's when they're overfilled. Now, to each their own. Some people prefer that. And it can almost kind of be like a style, I feel like, in, you know, certain cities or certain areas. But, you know, it's a solution called hyaluronidase that can be injected into an area that's been filled that will dissolve it within about 48 hours. So, I mean, there are options, but, you know, some people just get a little bit carried away.
Right.
That doesn't happen. I mean, if you've never had filler, you're not going to go in and come out looking like that. Those are people who have had tubes and tubes done.
It's a dysmorphia. It's like
That's
a body
what I was going to ask.
Dave.
That is exactly what I was going to point out. It's an image issue. It's not, right? It's not an issue of necessarily the procedure. It's an issue of the person actually having a dysmorphia. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. Dysfunctional body image, for sure. And so when those individuals are, you know, look like that, are they continuously getting filler, or does one, like if, let's say you got filler in your lips once, how long does that last?
Between 7 to 9 months.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
So, again, I mean, if you're going to an experienced injector, hopefully that person would be, kind of guiding you into what would be appropriate. But again, you know, it is a cosmetic business. If the patient wants, you know, huge lips,
and
you know, you can have that.
That's what you give them.
Yeah, but typically, I mean, there are so many people that, have had both Botox and filler, and it's done beautifully. It's very subtle. It, you know, looks very youthful and really very attractive. So, you know, it's all everything in moderation, I guess.
Right, and
that's what I say.
Right.
That's what I say.
And it's all preference, right? I mean, it's what
It
you're looking for.
And it's about your own image, Dave. I think if you're really making yourself and you're bringing out your self-esteem and raising your body image,
Sure.
and that gives you confidence, I think that's why people really are doing that. And if that's what it leads to, more confidence for an individual, well, you know, go ahead, go knock yourself out.
Right. I agree. So we've discussed sunscreen and we've discussed skincare routines and things of that nature. And now Botox is one way to kind of really combat wrinkles and sort of, I guess you would say, natural changes in skin. What are some other ways to avoid wrinkles?
Well, again, back to sunscreen.
Okay.
That's a great way. There are also some really non-invasive, very effective procedures that, you know, we do here in office. Microneedling has become wildly popular. I prefer to incorporate the PRP with it, which is our own plasma. We essentially needle your own plasma into your skin. It's extremely regenerative.
Facial, right?
It's a vampire facial?
That's what I think it's called, yes.
That is called a vampire facial, yes. So that
Nice
has
name.
become wildly popular. Minimal downtime. It's very safe. That does a great job with lines. You know, there are some great lasers that can really help to take care of lines. So there are options if you're not into injectables.
Got it. And those are very precise too, I would assume, right? You're going right, you're focused right on a particular area.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can really control your settings, and depending on how deep or you can, actually, you know, really customize to the person.
Okay. And so, with the skincare routine, you know, there are so many different products out there. You had mentioned a few things that I think are fairly basic and that everybody would have access to. But let's say you walk into one of these stores, you know, in a mall, and you're kind of looking for something that's appropriate for you. How do you determine what kind of skin you have versus what kind of product you should use? So if you have, I guess, oily skin, you have to use something for oily skin. And I would assume that the science is so advanced at this point that there are specific products for specific types of skins.
You know, there really are, and so many people have combination skin. So, I mean, to answer your question, it really is best to go see a professional so you're not wasting your money into buying all these different things that you're not really sure what they're doing. But, you know, as far as oily skin, something that's more salicylic acid based is a great wash. A lot of times you're going to want to incorporate some benzoyl peroxide to help dry out those pustules that are forming. You know, aging skin is a really common issue, obviously. That's when it gets a little bit more tricky because there's kind of the fine line between you want to keep it moist, but you also want to use some retinol to start fluffing off old cells and growing new skin. So really and that's, you know, what my job really entails is to guide people, you know, for their specific needs.
Okay.
Lauren, what about diet? You know, I work with a lot of athletes, and they don't have the money or the funds to get anything like that at certain points of their training. But what could they do diet-wise to really keep good skin, keep their skin healthy and looking vibrant?
Well, you know, there's that saying, you are what you eat.
Right.
That's right.
So, diet can absolutely, affect our bodies. There are people that are in tremendous shape, but the supplements that they're taking and just the excessive amount of working out that they do, you know, washing your face, even with a decent cleanser, you can get it for under $10 at the drugstore, is, obviously effective. If you're working out a lot, I would wash your face multiple times a day.
Okay.
You never want to use bar soap. It's way too stripping. But, and again, also people forget doing things like sleeping on clean pillowcases. You'd be shocked on some people, just don't change their laundry as often as others. And if you do have breakout problems, always wearing clean clothes. Always washing your sheets. Trying not to touch your face. All those things make a big difference.
Those things are, I mean, some of them easy, some of them not so easy, right? Try not to touch your face. It's like every time, you're in front of the computer and you're kind of intensely looking at something, you're touching your face. Right now, I'm not touching my face because I'm on Facebook Live, but other than that, I'd be touching my face. So that's really, so there are dietary behaviors and habits that one can kind of follow that would help with obviously overall wellness, but also will help with skin wellness as well. You mentioned vitamin C before, in the skincare routine. Is that also vitamin C from citrus fruits, or is that just?
And A. And she mentioned A, retinol as well.
Right. So are those just in kind of moisturizer, or is that if I'm eating sort of apples and oranges?
Well, great question. All of our organs love vitamin C. So taking it orally, whether it's through foods or actual, vitamin C pill, our internal organs are actually going to pretty much absorb 92% of that.
Okay.
So vitamin C topically, most of the time it does come in as serum. There are more of a cream-based vitamin C's, but you want to make sure that it's at least 4% L-ascorbic acid.
Okay.
And you do apply it topically in the morning, and it really does make a tremendous difference.
That's excellent. That's great information, really. Our listeners, I'm sure, are taking down notes. Give us a call at 602-277-5369 if you want to join in on the conversation, or 1-866-536-1100. We're speaking with Lauren Miller, an esthetician, who is talking to us about skin health. And believe it or not, we're going to be coming up to our last segment in just a couple of minutes. And I'd like to talk a little bit about kind of teenage acne and where that falls. And if you've ever, worked with teenagers as your patients, I think that would be quite interesting to hear about. So thanks so much, and we'll be right back after this break.
Do your feet hurt? Alleviate some of your foot pain with a pair of Atrex orthotics. Atrex orthotics are engineered to provide optimal support and cushioning to help make even your most uncomfortable shoes feel great. Millions of pairs have been sold to those in need of relief from foot pain. Atrex offers a wide selection of orthotics designed for all arch types and footwear styles. Visit Atrex.com, AETREX.com, and get yours today.
Don't we all have questions about our health, fitness, or even injuries? Now there's a place to go, and it's online at wellnessroundtable.com. Wellnessroundtable.com is an online interactive video platform that allows the best experts in the world to share their knowledge with you. Through creating a roundtable or attending a lecture, you are bound to realize the value of having evidence-based information live and in the comfort of your own home. Check them out at wellnessroundtable.com and get some real answers. Use the promo code 1100 to get a 20% discount.
The Food and Drug Administration's Safety Innovation Act makes it possible for you to receive information about your prescription drugs in multiple formats to educate you, the patient, on what you need to know before you take your medicine. This could make understanding your doctor's instructions much easier if you happen to be blind, have a learning disability, or other impairment. For more information, please talk to your pharmacist to find out what formats are available in your area.
Did you know azbigmedia.com was named the website every Arizonan should know? For more than 30 years, AZ Big Media has brought readers the state's most compelling business and lifestyle news through newsletters and award-winning publications such as Arizona Business and Ranking Arizona Magazine. Stay informed with all your business, real estate, travel, and lifestyle news at azbigmedia.com. See why BuzzFeed named azbigmedia.com one of the top websites in Arizona. Visit azbigmedia.com today.
The Del Walmsley Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
Why do I bother? Because what I want you to understand is you can do something about your situation, where you are, what you can do, how you can isolate and insulate yourself from all of this political and financial garbage that goes on out there.
The Del Walmsley Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Everything you need to know about finance and real estate. For more information, mypassiveincomesystem.com. mypassiveincomesystem.com.
Atrix is one of the fastest growing companies in the footwear industry and is widely recognized as a global leader in comfort and wellness footwear products. The Atrix mission is to create the healthiest shoe on the market today with fashion, function, and quality at the forefront. Atrix designs and manufactures most types of footwear for both men and women. All styles are crafted with care to meet the highest standards in design, incorporate cutting-edge technologies, and offer unmatched customization and adjustability. To learn how Atrix can help you with your feet, go to AETREX.com. That's Atrix.com.
We're back with the Wellness Roundtable Radio Show. We're talking skin health with esthetician Lauren Miller. Join in on the conversation at 602-277-5369 or 1-866-536-1100. So we've been covering a lot of ground, as it relates to skin health. And one of the areas that I'd like to ask about is acne, and knowing that, teenagers, I assume, suffer from acne much more than do adults. I have teenagers, so I kind of see it a little bit, and I'm wondering what causes acne?
Hormones.
Okay.
Really in any age. I mean, even actually in women, adult acne is becoming a lot more prevalent, but teens absolutely. Majority of them at some point typically suffer from a little bit. Mm-hmm. Some are, much more severe than others, but it is hormonal.
And so if adults suffer from acne, or if it's more prevalent these days, is that because of stress levels? What changed that now adults are suffering from or experience acne more than they have?
I would agree that some of it is stress levels. There are all kinds of opinions on that. Some people think it's from taking a lot of antibiotics at a younger age. There's no real sure answer. But, I think also, too, people are just more comfortable maybe talking about it. But the teens definitely, they definitely suffer. And it is so important to, not that, of course, I'm sure with all their, hormonal changes, they are going to have some breakout, but there is no reason for them to be miserable or to let it get to the point to, where it's really affecting them emotionally. It actually can be extremely painful. So, bringing them in to some sort of professional, if needed, is very important for, really for just them as people.
Right. I mean, it does affect self-esteem. It affects, confidence and how you look at yourself. And
kids are so mean anyway.
Sure.
So,
Dave, from a clinical standpoint, some people think about treating acne like treating, so to say, like Osgood-Schlatter of the knee. Like as a physical therapist, this is something that's a natural occurrence that's going to happen and that will dissipate on its own.
Okay.
And and as clinicians, you can do whatever you want to try to mask it and make it better for the teenager. But sometimes it is just a stage that they're going to go through.
Right.
And giving them the confidence that it is a stage and this will calm down, I think is an important piece to add to the equation.
Right. So they just need to pass through and come out okay on the other side.
In a way.
Yeah.
In a way.
So just, Lauren, I have a 15-year-old daughter, and sometimes, she'll pop out of her room with this mask on her face. It's like black or white or gray. I'm like, but she does a lot of preventative kind of, skincare. She has a preventative skincare routine that she uses, and it seems like it works really well. And then I've seen some of her friends who definitely are suffering from, and again, it's that explosion of hormones, but that kind of teenage acne that you tend to see. So
absolutely, and good for your daughter. Hey, routine is very important.
Lauren, these kids have parties these days that I hear of. They have parties where a whole bunch of young kids will put these masks on, and they're doing it in a fun way. So that's a great change.
Right. It's kind of like it's like our generation of Nu Skin. Do you remember Nu Skin?
Of course I remember Nu Skin.
Right.
Yeah.
So Nu Skin, they used to have those kind of Tupperware party
meetings,
gatherings, right, where they would sell you all the moisturizer and the skincare products, but they're doing it on their own, and And I guess you're right, because, for them it is fun. I mean, they can make it into something entertaining,
Oh, they can, and, they all suffer from it, so they kind of have that in common.
Right. They're kind of in the same boat, right? Yeah, no, that's a very good point. And so when we talk about skin health, one of the other things that kind of pops up and that I'd really like to ask about, and I don't really know a lot about, is tattoos. And I'm very curious as to what your thoughts are on tattoos. Don't know if you have a tattoo but I'm just really curious as to how does that affect the skin, and are you finding that people are wanting tattoos removed more now than they were before? Where are we with that?
They absolutely are. Tattoos have become, to answer your question, I do not have a tattoo.
Okay.
But tattoos have become so popular.
Yeah.
In the last 20 years, and then they get them covered, and, removing them is challenging. There are lasers to remove them.
Okay.
The lasers have a hard time seeing certain colors. Green and yellow are very, very, very difficult.
Oh, I see.
So
okay.
you can, depending on the color of your tattoo, sometimes you can really luck out and get a great treatment, and it really can be gone.
Wow.
However, unfortunately, so many tattoos, even if they are, supposedly black ink, they do over time become a green. So, it is challenging. It's kind of a painful experience to have them removed. It does take multiple treatments.
Okay.
There is some wound care involved. You definitely blister. A tattoo is, it's a pretty much a lifelong commitment. So it's a challenging thing to get rid of.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you do blister. It really does cause damage to the skin. I mean, taking it off can it be more damaging than the actual tattoo itself?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow.
So anytime we're blistering the skin, you are causing some scars. If people are genetically prone to keloiding, which is that real thick rope-like scar, that is a huge possibility. So no, I mean it's not an ideal thing to do to your skin.
Wow, I really didn't know that. I thought, I thought it was fairly easily removed. Obviously, depending upon the size of the tattoo, it would take a lot longer and more treatments, but I didn't think it was that involved.
Tattoo removal is, I would say, probably one of the trickiest things. I mean, brown spots, wrinkles, hair, much, much more pleasant.
Much more pleasant. Right. And so talking about, skin health and sort of recognizing your own skin, right? So if you have a mole or something, what do you look for in those kinds of I don't want to call them anomalies or abnormalities, but in, I guess, changes in your skin? What do you look for? What would indicate that you need to go see a professional? What would have to happen to a mole or to a spot or something like that?
So typically, most people have a mole, some sort of moles. Some have more than others. A lot of times your moles are very healthy. And, there are no issues. When anything starts to grow or change color rapidly, especially if it's darkening, you definitely want to get in. There are certain skin cancers that grow, literally in a few weeks. Wow. They get very large very quick. So you do want to look for things, quick, fast changes. Typically they do change quickly. Typically, if a mole grows hair, it's a healthy mole.
Okay.
Typically.
Okay.
But, it's always a great idea to go get checked out. You always hear these horror stories of people having, melanoma on the bottom of their feet.
Right.
So, it literally can grow anywhere. But just, be aware if you, live with other people in your home and, notice that the pea-sized mole on their back is now the size of a quarter in a month.
Right.
They definitely, tell them.
Right. Something's really changed and needs to be looked at and diagnosed.
Right.
That's a great point. Yeah. Great point.
This is, this has really been enlightening. It's really been, kind of educational, I'm sure, for our listeners as well as for Scott and I. You've been really a great guest.
Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah, being able to answer all these questions, and we'd love to have you back on again. I would like to let our listeners know that if you do have questions about your skin health and you'd like to talk to an esthetician, go visit Spectrum Dermatology. If you're here in Scottsdale, they're at 9500 Ironwood Square Drive, and their number is 480-948-8400. And again, we've been speaking about skin health with Lauren Miller, who is a medical esthetician at Spectrum Dermatology. Lauren, again, I just want to thank you for your time and for your knowledge, and we'd love to have you on the show again.
Oh, absolutely. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Great. All right. Well,
Thanks again, Lauren.
That's it for Scott and I and the Wellness Roundtable radio show on this Wednesday. Scott, I will be seeing you next week.
Yes, David. We'll catch up.
All right. Thanks so much for listening.
This is it. Make no mistake where you are.
You've been listening to the Wellness Roundtable radio show right here on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Tune in next week for more from the experts on the Wellness Roundtable radio show.
Atrix is one of the fastest growing companies in the footwear industry and is widely recognized as a global leader in comfort and wellness footwear products. The Atrix mission is to create the healthiest shoe on the market today with fashion, function, and quality at the forefront. Atrix designs and manufactures most types of footwear for both men and women. All styles are crafted with care to meet the highest standards in design, incorporate cutting-edge technologies, and offer unmatched customization and adjustability. To learn how Atrix can help you with your feet, go to AETREX.com. That's Atrix.com.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members or their families, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to keep them secure for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Join us at findwwp.org.
You're listening to Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX, Cave Creek, Phoenix, a division of Premier Radio Stations, the home of the Savage Nation.